Thank you. So immediately, this is fabulously fresh, and it reminds me of the beach. And you can get a really precise sort of lemon and orange note, perhaps even bergamot, but then that's sort of grounded by something quite saline, something woody. I'm thinking juniper berry, driftwood, cedar. So to my mind, this could only be one thing, and that's Sel Marin by James Heeley. Sel Marin is an aquatic fragrance, and it's marine, and it's one of those fragrances that does without too much ornament. It's very direct in its nature. I like the fizziness, I like the spiciness coming through here. I can think of sort of salty air, cascading waves, the sun in the sky with no clouds at all. It's a really elegant and simplified fragrance. And I think some of the best perfumery are fragrances that do without excess. This is direct, it's legible. It's really quite extraordinary. James Heeley is a fabulous perfumer who belongs to a school that I like to call minimalism. And by that, it seems to me that there's always a singular idea happening in this fragrance. And here it's the idea of salt and the marine. And that's fascinating because salt has no smell, so it relies on associations and impressions. And so drawing upon a series of ideas, Sel Marin is perhaps one of the best aquatic fragrances, or should I say the best marine fragrances on the market. We're clearly by the beach and we're clearly eating seafood, but we're not eating shellfish with our hands in this instance. We're using picks and forks and lots of napkins. It's a very elegant fragrance despite the louche nature of it. So we're having a really refined platter of oysters to start. I'm gonna go for the third and say an ambivert. I think this is a fragrance that is quite versatile, who is equally happy by themselves working 9 to 5, but then very happy to jump out and have a gin martini by the beach or something like that. It's a bit obvious, but if this fragrance were going out for the weekend, we're going to the beach. But again, there is a sophistication here. So we're not necessarily dipping our feet into the water. We're walking by the water. There's the sort of the cosmopolitan cityscape in the background. So this is quite a versatile fragrance. I think this fragrance would enjoy a walk through something quite near the coast. If this fragrance were a destination, perhaps a difficult question for me to answer. I don't like beaches. However, I'm immediately thinking of rock pools. I'm immediately thinking of mosses and sea spray. So I think this would be at home in the north of Brittany, in Cancale, but no less, in the English seaside as well. The longevity of this fragrance, by its nature, it's in that citrusy, fresh category. So don't expect a long-lasting fragrance. I'd say you get a good burst of, say, 4 to 5 hours of proper longevity. This falls around 4 or 5. Again, it has potency initially, and I think it's a fragrance you can get away with overspraying because it's never one of those fragrances that will overwhelm. So it's a contextual, but I'll give this right in the middle 5. Value for money, Heeley fragrances are always excellent. So this is high up there. Really good ingredients, great narrative, well considered, well conceived. So I'd give this an 8. Gender-wise, completely, it's an anybody fragrance. I don't see anything gendered about this fragrance. It's quite amorphous in this regard. So this is an egalitarian everybody fragrance.